Hey, everybody. Good to see you on this Saturday afternoon. It's all casual around here at Jen Lehner Media. And for those of you who don't know, because well, first of all, I'm simulcasting and I am on my Facebook profile. I'm on my Facebook business page. I'm in both of my Facebook groups. I'm on YouTube and I'm on Periscope / Twitter. So let's see how this goes. I love this platform that I'm using. It's called StreamYard. Nika, if you want to throw the link in the chat, that would be awesome. StreamYard is my favorite live streaming app. I love Ecamm Live and I love OBS and I love Wirecast. Those are all really great, but StreamYard is just the easiest. So cool. Anyway, I love it. And they just added this ability to go live on all these platforms at one time. It used to be you had to connect something like Restream.io, which I have, but this is way easier. Well, maybe I'm putting the cart before the horse because let's just see how it goes first. Okay. So yesterday, first of all last week, we did a challenge called the Solopreneur to CEO Challenge. And it was all about really getting you to think about your business and the role that you play in it. Like, let me turn that off. Are you stepping into your business as the CEO, like the real CEO, or have you really just created another job for yourself, without benefits, without vacation pay, all that stuff, right? Hey, Belinda. So we talked about that all week long and we worked through some really just insight exercises. You made lists, you put values on your time and hopefully, by the end of it, I made my case, which is, and I'm coming from this as a person who has, taken this journey from being completely frazzled. And trust me, I still have my days. I'm not trying to pretend that I have it all so figured out and I'm not ever frazzled. Hello, CAPTCHAs and passwords and logins. I have my fair share of that daily. But when I decided to hire a virtual assistant for my business after being in business for 2 years, everything shifted because then I was able to really just offload all the stuff that wasn't within my realm of expertise, stuff I couldn't stand doing, quite frankly, and stuff that was holding me back from doing that really good, like juicy stuff that I love to do. The more visionary stuff that I pictured myself doing when I set out to do this business. So anyway, we did all that. And then yesterday I opened the doors to my brand new program called Front Row CEO, frontrowceo.com if you want to go and check it out. And I'm super excited. It's a beta launch. So that means the price on it is a beta price. It will never be this low again, but it's it's one of those reciprocal arrangements because it is new. The framework isn't new and hundreds of people have used my framework, but the program is new and all the stuff that I've added to it and developed on top of my old framework is new. And so what you're going to do is give me feedback, good feedback and bad feedback. You're just going to give me feedback. And it is because of that trade-off that I'm giving it at this low price. Also, because I'm walking through the program live with you. So the program is, and this is going to lead me into some of the questions that I got this morning, but the program is, I'm sorry, I have an itch on my nose that I really have to take care of. Okay. The program has 4 modules. The modules are recorded, but I'm with you live for support in the Facebook group and on a live support call every single week. So I'm literally walking through the program with you. And someone asked me, Krista says, are you going through it with us or is it dripped? So it's both. So module 1, module 2, module 3, module 4 module 1 is going to be there on the opening of the program. And then all the other modules will drip out week after week, but I will also be with you every step of the way. And please feel free to ask your questions in the chat. Dee Dee says, I actually binged watched the challenge yesterday and it gave me a new perspective of how to do this entrepreneur life. I'm so happy, Diana, honestly. Really happy because sometimes just the shift is really worth its weight in gold, right? Like just to get that shift or that inspiration and the motivation. I love feeling inspired. The other question I have is this going to work? Tara asked a really good question. She sent it via email and I don't actually have it all written out, but I just wrote myself a note and she says, would this work for a brick and mortar? And this is, because all the things I pretty much demoed during and talked about during the challenge were probably more online related. And I have to say, like with a lot of my courses, I don't always say, or in the things that I teach, like, yes, this is for you if you're brick and mortar. Because I want to be careful of that, because not everything that we do when we talk about entrepreneurship online does relate to brick and mortar. But in this particular situation, what I did was I was like, Tara, show me the list that you created on the first day of the challenge of all the things you do in your business. And then I can more honestly and accurately answer that question. So she showed me her list. And well, first of all, there was a whole bunch of online stuff that she needs because she's a clothing store, brick and mortar. And so online, she's got all the Pinterest stuff happening and Instagram and all that. So that's all has to get dealt with on a regular basis. And then she also she puts products online and they all need descriptions. So I can imagine that's terribly time consuming. And then inside the store, she's like, she had listed things like, she had 3 long pages, but she like opening up the product boxes. Okay. So in every one of those scenarios, there should be a system, right? Every person in her store, if an alien landed from outer space and walked in her store and knew that they were told that they had to unload this box, then they had to unload this box to unpack this box. That alien should be able to look at a checklist because that system is never going to change. So what I explained to Tara was that, first of all, the online stuff is obvious and no brainer. Like a VA can do that, but the VA can absolutely help you create the systems in your physical business because, and I don't want to give away the whole program and like tell you, I don't want to go into the weeds and tell you like exactly, step by step, the whole system of my system. But an example was she could easily create a video with her iPhone, right? She's got to be sorry for the blur. She's got to be unpacking the boxes anyway. Good Lord, there. She's got to be unpacking the boxes anyway. So why not just turn on your video camera, unpack the box, okay, and talk through it. Now I'm packing the blue dresses that come from the so-and-so vendor. With this vendor, we have to always display the tag this way when we put it on the hanger because that's part of our agreement with them. Blah, 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 blah. It's not perfectly produced. It's just you doing your thing. You're just talking to yourself while you're doing it. You send it to your online VA, who then creates a system, meaning that VA is going to create a checklist from that video and screenshots from whatever you showed her on the video. Again, doesn't have to be pretty, but now guess what happens? You have a complete system in your business that VA in the Philippines created for you that you would never create yourself, because just to create that system is going to take you off task and nobody has time for that. And that is why we continue to just slog through and waste time unnecessarily when we could be just cutting through this stuff like a hot knife through butter. And that is what a checklist is. That is what a system is. So whoever comes through the door, then Tara just says, here you go. And you can actually do that for every aspect of your business. Now, getting the right VA who can do, as Nika said, ain't nobody got time for that. But getting a VA, number one, who is qualified to do this, like, for example, writing the dress descriptions. Well, the way that I have my system set up, this is as foolproof as you can get. And I'm really just going to leave it at that. But what the automated system of hiring, which I have templates for you for every step of the way, your job posting, your emails, everything, exactly what you need to say, exactly what place you need to do to find these amazing people. And that's my answer for Tara's question. Shauna says, let's put Shauna's in there. And how is this? Oh, there must have been another one. Um, if one already has a VA, how will this program help? And how is this different from the one that I can get in Front Row VIP? I'm so glad you asked that. That is really, so I think a lot of people who have access to my old course from years ago, which is really just a 45-minute workshop called How to Hire and Train Your First VA Before You Think You Need One. That's one of the most popular. Used to be a freebie, then it was a paid thing. It's like one of the most popular things I've ever created. And it's the thing that I have gotten the most positive feedback from people, like the kind of emails that say, I just had to, you don't know me, but I just had to email you and tell you that like this thing changed the complete trajectory of my business. Okay. So it is good because it's based on a simple test task structure. Okay. Meaning you when you do your job post, you ask someone to complete a task for you. And what happens is the people who end up applying and actually qualify go from something like 60 ridiculous unqualified people in your inbox to 3 or 4. Okay. And so I love that system, and that system has served me well and has served a lot of people well. But what this is so much more than that, because if you already have a VA, and I'm glad you asked it, Shauna, because that's actually somebody else that emailed that in as well. If you already have a VA, where this picks up and the other course left off is number one, the self-selecting system, the process is more in depth, not more complicated, but there are better questions, there are better templates, and there's a couple extra steps that we've added in there that are, that are just, we walk through this ourselves with our new VA. And Anika and I were both astounded by the whole process. So that's all I'll say, is that it's much better. It's just more foolproof on the hiring end. Okay. It's also more automated. Then on the, if you already have a VA and you're really not wanting to add a new person right now, this is going to help you really maximize and leverage that VA to their fullest potential as it relates to scaling your business. Okay. So it's a lot about systems. So module 1 is about laying the groundwork. Module 2 is the whole hiring process. Okay. Soup to nuts. Module 3 is then we start talking about managing and onboarding. And in module 4, we talk about the systems, and the systems are just everything, because so I'll tell you this, when we ran this process that was both like, we needed another VA to add to our team, and I wanted to see if how little I could, like how hands off I can be. And I could tell you that Nika pretty much ran the entire process. So that's the other thing. After you hire your first VA, okay, and you go through this process more hands-on, the second time when you hire your second VA, and you're probably thinking, oh yeah, I'm not going to hire 2 VAs. I don't want to manage 2 people, blah, blah, blah. You will end up hiring another person, because even if all you do is hire like a part-time graphic designer that you keep on your team or whatever, you will end up going through it again. And your first VA will be able to walk through this whole process with your second VA. It's really a beautiful thing. And then Shauna says, during the calls, do you coach about scaling the business? So during the calls, I'll coach about anything that is necessary in terms of where people are. It's going to be a Zoom call. We'll see each other face to face. And so, ideally, we're going to keep it reined in to where people are as it relates to that part of the course. But it's beta, so I don't know, like if that comes up and that needs to be discussed. Scaling is the ultimate byproduct of this, because it's sort of built into the cake, right? If you hire someone who then does all the back end work for your business, then you, Shauna, get to create more retreats. Um, uh, um, you get to create more products. You get to um, present yourself maybe on bigger stages. The things that are on your wish list right now, because I know you've got so many great ideas, but there's only, you can only do so much because every one of those process requires. And here's the thing, Shauna, and you're the perfect example. So you guys, Shauna has been in my community for a long time, and she's in my VIP group, my private membership site called Front Row VIP. So Shauna is like multi-talented, and so she's a spiritual person, and she does retreats. And notice how I didn't call you woo-woo, Shauna. I'm evolving. So she's a spiritual person, and she does these really cool retreats all over the world. She's also got really cool online courses, but it's sort of a curse that she also is very good at doing landing pages and websites. She can figure out how to do a funnel and all that kind of stuff. And she struggles through it. Am I right or am I right, Shauna? Sometimes, like whether it's, Facebook ads or the funnels, like you kind of can't stand all that stuff, but you figure it out. And that's a curse, really, because you should not be doing that stuff. That's not what your people want from you. And that's not what you want from yourself. All that back end stuff needs to go away. That needs to be handed over to your VA. And you need to be able to step in, walk up to your computer and be so excited because you are going to create, or wherever your office is, your garden or whatever, your canvas, because she paints, like she's super creative. Oh, well, gosh, it's like I planted you guys here with all the right questions and comments so that I could segue through the things. But I want to talk about, I hope it shows off better today than it did. If it doesn't, I'm going to turn off the Diva ring light. I'm going to turn off the light for a minute and see if we can get without the glare. So this is, and this will also answer Shauna, I mean, not Shauna's, but Shoshana's question, which I'm going to talk about in just a second. But this is, you cannot tell from the screen. This has a linen cover. It's very heavy. I bet it's 2 pounds at least. It's designed by Weller Smith Designs. She's done lots of fancy schmancy planners. She did Todd Herman's planner. I have to say, I'm really proud of this. This is, for months we've been going back and forth and making it like completely perfect. But it's taken me, I don't know, at least a year to develop it because my VIPers are familiar with my content creation planning system, which is, we've referred to it as, we do it monthly, and it's called Planapalooza, where you can plan out your content for a month or 3 months in advance using my system. And so this is not a typical planner. It literally is a system that allows you to create 3 months worth of content. And we have the digital version. So the first 20 people who purchased Front Row CEO, so there's still some left, are going to get this for free. There's no other way to get this. I'm not selling it at the moment. The only way to get this is to sign up for the course, and it's for the first 20 people. If you miss this, you will have a digital, you'll have the digital form of this, and like a digital fillable PDF. And then there's a spreadsheet. And if you're a spreadsheet person, and what else am I forgetting? That's it. So you'll have the digital version of this, but sometimes there's just nothing like pen to paper, right? Especially when you're doing creative stuff. So I hope I can show you the pages. So first of all, when you log in, like, it's just, the pages are really like, they're beautiful. They're smooth and pretty. So there's a good, I don't know, 6 pages that explains the whole system and every single section of the system. Okay. So this is still part of the directions. And then all along the way, there are these little UPC codes. So you could scan them with your phone. And there's a video explanation to go along with every section and give you good ideas in your content creation. And you're also going to get our system for this as part of the microsystems that are included in the course. So you'll literally be able to take our checklists. They're going to be in, they're in Trello templates, and they're also in Process Street templates. Don't worry if you don't know what Process Street is. It just means that you're going to be able to take our systems and plug them in. Oh, great, Shoshana, because I was just getting ready to answer your question. I haven't gotten to it yet. So we're just walking through the planner. All right, so see where it says start here? So my system is, you start with being strategic, and you talk about, you think about what it is you're promoting that month, right? And and if you're not promoting something, sometimes it's the same people who, it's the same, you're promoting the same thing all the time. Like your thing, you always have the same offer. That's fine. But you're going to put that here, and then you break it down into, for every month, there's 4 themes, 1 for each week, right? And what you're going to do is create a piece of anchor content for each week. Okay. And then there's a checklist at the front to make sure you do all the things. And then there's the month at a glance, which my VIPers will know what this means. There's a C, there's an E, there's an O. I'm not going to get into that right now. So that's, you go back to that after you fill in all the other parts. So we start with the anchor content. So you take your themes, you bring them over here, and your anchor content is like your blog post for that week, or your podcast. It's like your main piece of content that week. And there's space here for you to map it all out. And there's really nice quotes. Some fantastic quotes. You're going to put down your relevant links and images and downloads and all that kind of stuff for that content. And then you move into the 3 pieces of content or 3 types of posts based on your anchor content that you should be posting every week. 2 connection posts, 2 expert posts, and 1 original post. Okay. So you start with connection. Whoopsie. And along the side is a checklist of ideas of what a connection post is. So that would be like doing a poll, or this or that. Like, do you like this or do you like that? Caption this, hot topic. Make a list of something on Facebook and ask people what's missing from the list. Would you rather have a cook for a week, or a massage therapist for a week? Or just a big, or just a general question. And then the channel, what channel are you going to put that connection post on? It's up to you. It could always be the same channel. The most important thing is that you're hitting the content topics. And Shoshana, this is one of the systems, whether or not you qualify for the planner, because it's only for the first 20 people, whether or not you get the hard copy planner, you will have the digital system. And it's something that you can absolutely implement, that your VAs can absolutely implement for you. Lots of note sections. And then we go on into the other kinds of posts. I'm not going to get into that, but I also want you to see after every month, because 3 quarters are in here, after every month, there's a place for reflections, what worked, what didn't. And then at the back is where we've got all of the special months, like holidays and themes for the month and the week. So at the top are the special months and then the weeks, because when you get stuck sometimes creating content, it could be as easy as opening this up and saying, okay, so January the 13th is Make Your Dream Come True Day. Every single person can talk about something that make your dream come true with, franchising. Make your dream come true by, I don't know, whatever your thing is, doing yoga. Okay. I just signed up. Woo! I want to work with you again in this beta way. It has been great to see you progress over the past 3 to 4 years. Yay! I'm so glad you've got one of these coming your way. So yay! I'm so glad, Shauna. Yay! Okay. Let's see. So Shoshana, I'm going back to your question because I want to make sure. So I've got Shoshana's email right here. So I'm seriously considering this. I can't make the live today, but you did. Yay. When you say learn how to set up systems, are you referring to systems related to VA and personnel management, only, or will you be helping to implement systems around social media planning? Yes. Marketing planning? Yep. How to systemize content creation? We just went over that. And I also, well, hold on. I lost my place. Things like this. I struggle with implementing systems around the more foundational building blocks of my coaching business so they keep happening with less of my involvement so I can be free to work with clients, do more workshops, and speak more. I have a great VA, but I'm not utilizing her at capacity because I'm chasing my tail on this stuff. So it's just a typical story. Like, I'm sure you are at capacity with, all your clients and everything. And it would be so nice to just sort of hand off more of that stuff and focus on your clients and get new clients and work and do the workshops and all that kind of stuff. So to answer your question, yes, I have a list of the actual microsystems that I'm including in the course on the sales page. So if you go over, I don't want to go over to the web and show the sales page. Oh, well, actually, I think I've got it on this slide deck. Let me see. I don't see it on the slide deck, but here's the thing. I mean, here's really the gist. This is the main point, is that I've got the system. I've got all those systems to show you, and any VA, if you hire the right VA, not any VA, when you go through my process and you get the right VA, the perfect match VA for your business, or even the VA that you currently have, since she's great, it's really going to be about saying, like, here's what we already do. Let's systemize that. So whatever you're doing and you're doing well that needs to happen, whether it's, onboarding your new clients and sending the contracts and making sure the contract gets signed and the customer service emails, turning that into a process instead of a sort of like tennis ball, like coming at you, having to return the ball because they just keep coming at you. Being able to give that wonderful VA you have a system to execute, and then turning any other thing you already do regularly into a system is gonna alleviate the challenge that you have that really so many other people have. So Sutter Girl over here says, I read your whole spiel on your amazing new program, and I'm the epitome of your scenarios. Did you interview me in my sleep? Here's what I mean. I've participated and currently participate in multiple challenges, business groups, and they have brought immense value, especially in terms of support and encouragement, but I'm stuck in no efficient systems mode. And I have a VA who comes around, then ghost period. And then I decided to revamp what was done, etc. So I'm it didn't show it all. It didn't show it all. You got cut off. So I didn't get after the heavily. But again, like, you guys, my talking points, it's like your questions are completely lining up with all of my talking points, which is crazy. Because one of the other things I wanted to say today was I think people have course fatigue. I really do. I've been saying this for a while. I think, and the problem is that, number one, we get frustrated with ourselves because are we going to follow through with the course that we invest in? Like, it's this real kind of vicious cycle. Like, you see that course and it offers so much promise, but if, first of all, am I going to really do it and participate? And if I do, am I going to see results? And we've all been there, and there are so many fantastic courses out there that I just think people really do kind of have course fatigue a little bit. And so I think what makes the difference in a course for people to help them become, to be more accountable and actually finish the course and actually do the things, is that as much as everybody wants to evergreen everything, so I'm talking to you course creators, and I am speaking about this course directly, is that you really have to create an experience. And that doesn't mean take everybody to Disney World, although I try my best, metaphorically to take everybody to Disney World with the stuff that I do. But it means that you have to do some hand holding and really hold people accountable. So to answer your question, Amy, I feel you. I get it. And as far as your VA being there and then ghosting you, there's a couple of things that's probably going on. Number one, if you're kind of all over the place, it's really hard for your VA to know exactly what to expect, right? And so just by having systems to say here, or just you recording a video of saying, okay, we're going to pretend her name is Sally. Okay, Sally, I'm recording my video now. And I just want you to see, this is how I send out my jewelry, the bracelets. I mean, I don't know if you're still selling any jewelry online, but this is how we sell the bracelets. And you have to make sure and always use this size picture because this, and the next thing we do is this, and the next thing we do is this. She's going to watch that video and you're going to ask her and you're going to show her a template that I'm going to give you. And you're going to show her how to create a template. I mean, how to create a system, which is just a checklist and maybe some screenshots. You're going to show her how to do that. And what is going to happen after she does that, you guys? And if you were on my live stream yesterday, you heard me give the answer very enthusiastically. When you do that, what is happening for Sally? And there's a 10-second delay, so I'm going to read these other questions while you're thinking of the answer. Thank you, Nika. I'm heavily interested in my biz. In-person aspects are catching fire. I still feel behind regarding online. So your CE program describes exactly what I need. What do I need to do to ensure this additional development, this additional investment delivers and puts my bid where the business where the program description says or should end up? Okay, I know what you're saying. Like, how do I know this is going to work? You have to show up. And if you show up and do the work, then you're going to see results. Like, I don't know how else to say it. It really is about you walking through every step. And there's such a formula I have for you that it really is like color by number. Like, I'm giving you exactly what to say, exactly where to post it, exactly their first steps, exactly what they need to do. And then all the steps after that, managing them, having tough conversations, we address it all. And then on top of that, you're the graduation bonus, which we didn't even talk about. The graduation bonus is that you're going to get another course. Speaking of course fatigue, but this one isn't for you. This one is for your VA. So it's filled with trainings that most VAs are going to need to know in the beginning, but also stuff you're not going to find anywhere else because they're real conversations from my VAs, mostly Nika and some of Nika's friends, associates who are also VAs in the Philippines, who are going to be talking about really juicy topics with your VAs that are like kind of hard conversations for you to have. So how to anticipate your CEO's needs, what to look for. So you know what I mean? So like Nika and I have had this conversation. She knows what needs to be done and what makes for a successful relationship. She's going to share all her inside tips with your VA, but that doesn't happen. You don't get that until graduation because that is for your new VA. So I don't know. All I can say is I've foolproofed it about as much as I can. Now, as far as the showing up part, obviously not everybody is going to be able to show up for the live calls. You're going to get recordings of that. You're going to have access in the Facebook group to me and to Nika and to each other. And did I already say you're going to get recordings? Yeah. And you'll get recordings of the live calls. And then each module, all the recordings in each module are pre-recorded as well. So let's see here. Shauna agrees. And Diana says, with everything you say, I get more excited. Well, I'm excited that you've joined us. And hey, April. So Yeah. Wow. I can't believe you guys were awesome today. I feel like I should pay you for the perfect questions that you asked, because literally those were all the talking points that I want to hit. I want to make sure that I didn't leave anything out. So let me just look at my notes. I'm very fancy with how I do my notes. I just want you to see. These are like, how those desk calendars. I got the You Are the Badass calendar, Jen Sincero, and they make for great little, not only inspiration, daily inspiration, but also great for this kind of thing. I already have VAs. I answered that question. I answered all the questions. So let's see. Anybody else? Okay, you guys. Well, it's been an amazing 36 minutes with you. And if anybody, I'll stay here for just a couple more minutes because there is a 10-second delay. I found out, and those of you just joining us, I want to say, thanks, Chris, you too. I want to say that I am live streaming now. I'm using StreamYard's simulcast for the first time. So I should be on Periscope and YouTube and my Facebook profile. But I was careful with my Facebook profile to only show the broadcast to the people who I've put into my ICA list, my ideal client audience list. So like Aunt Betty is not seeing me, but the people who I think should see me, like all the people I went to B school with and all that. Not that they're watching right now necessarily, but if anybody catches the replay or watches live on my personal profile, they're not going to see. It's only going to be the people who I want to see it. So I just wanted to say that, give a shout out to StreamYard because it's just a wonderful platform. All right, Dee Dee, Diana, thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Go outside and play. And if you have any more questions, don't hesitate to email me, support@jenlehner.com, and I will get back to you right away because, I am in the middle of a launch, so I'm pretty much connected to my phone 24/7 until Wednesday. Carts close Wednesday, midnight Eastern Standard Time, and whatever that is, 9 p.m. Pacific. Okay. Okay. I'll catch up on the rest of these later. Okay. Bye, you guys. Oh, I want to do my little cute bumper before I leave. Hold on.